Hello, all the nerds out there, and welcome to our channel Nerd School. And today we are going to talk about this ancient Greek poet named Hesiod. So he was kicking it back in the day, around the same time as Homer, somewhere between 750 to 600 BC. And let's talk about a little bit about his biography. As we know, he was active around 750 to 650 BC, right? And Hesiod saw himself as a unique individual and had a major role in his poetic works. So people back then believed he and Homer were responsible for setting up Greek religious custom. Nowadays, the scholars see him as a kind of gold mine of info on Greek mythology, farming techniques, and early economics, and ancient astronomy, and also timekeeping. So the guy was kind of a walking encyclopedia. So now here there are all these legends and stories about Hesiod floating around. For example, there is this one about a contest between him and Homer. So we have got a biography of Hesiod by some Byzantine grammarian named John Tetches. Anyway, this guy, you see the name here, you can write about it if you want to know. So there is even an entry about him in this thing called the Suda. And let's not forget the bits and pieces we find in the work of Pausanias and Plutarch. So there's a lot of buzz about this dude, and everyone's got something to say about him. So as for Hesiod works, three of them managed to survive, and the test, managed to survive. And we have got works and days and Theogony or Theogony and the shield of Heracles or Hercules, you can say. Unfortunately, we only have fragments left of his other works, but the surviving ones are kind of pretty cool. They were written in this epic meter and language, just like Homer's stuff. Although we gotta be honest, the shield of Heracles is most likely not his work. So it's a bit of poser from the 16th century BC. And get this, some old school critics even had doubts about Theogony, and despite Hesiod talking about himself in the poem, but they all share a distinctive language, rhythm, and a style that set them apart from Homer and that work of Shield of Heracles. So now let's move to his work, which is the first is Theogony or Theogony, whatever you can say. Anyway, so this work is all about the gods and their family tree. So Hesiod spills the tea on how chaos or Gaia, which is Earth, and Eros came into existence. So Gaia, Gaea, that is, pops out Uranus, which is heaven, the mountain, and the sea god Pontus. Then things get really messy. These gods popping off left and right, and there's this titan called Cronus, and who rebels against Uranus, castrates him, and takes charge until Zeus comes along and kicks his butt. But there is a way. More going to happen on this work, and Hesiod throws in all sorts of genealogy and myths that will make your head spin. And let me tell you, the battle between the Olympian gods and the Titans is kind of, main event. So that's all about theogony. Not much to discuss. You only have to remember the names, and that'll be enough for you. And then another is the works and days and his Hesiodic corpus. So here Hesiod's guide is being kind of farmer, and this guy knows his stuff when it comes to agriculture. He wrote this poem to teach his brother Perseus all about farming. So it's like a manual for getting your hands dirty and working the land, right? So Hesiod goes on about the 5 ages of man and drops some serious knowledge on how to live a good life through his honest labor. And he's not a fan of lazy folks or unfair judges. And there is this whole bit about immortals keeping an eye on justice and injustice on earth. Basically, Hesiod believes that hard work is the key to success, and he's not a fan of those slacker drones. And he also paints a pretty grim picture of the world during what he calls the Age of Iron. So Hesiod was a poet, right, and who had a lot to say about gods, farming, and the side of life. And he's like the, buddy of Homer's, and providing a more down to earth perspective. His works gives us a glimpse into ancient Greek culture and mythology, and there is definitely worth checking out for you. So go check it about Hesiod if you have time, but I think that's enough for you. So thank you all. In our next video we're going to discuss Pindar. So for now, bye bye and have a great day.